Hello everyone, I welcome you all in another session of Anjan tutorials. As you all know, we have already talked about Greco-Roman period and Old English period and Middle English period. So today we will give you a revision session on the topics which I have already covered in our class. So those of you who are preparing for CUET-PG 2026 English Literature exam, do like, share and subscribe our channel. And without further delay, let's begin the session. The first question of today's session is, who was known as father of Greek tragedy? Who was known as the father of Greek tragedy in Greco-Roman period? This is our first question and I will give you 5 seconds to think for each question, and after that I will show you answers. So our first question is, who was known as father of Greek tragedy? It is Aeschylus. Aeschylus is known as father of Greek tragedy, who wrote the Oresteia trilogy, and the parts of this trilogy are Agamemnon, Libation Bearer and Eumenides. And it was Aristophanes who was known as father of Old Comedy or Old English Comedy. The second question is, what are the plays included in Theban trilogy? What are the plays included in Theban trilogy which is written by Sophocles? So I will give you 5 seconds to think and then I will show you answers. The answer is Oedipus Rex, Oedipus ad Colonus and Antigone. And these are the plays which falls under the Theban trilogy which is written by Greco-Roman tragedian Sophocles. The third question is, in which play of Aristophanes caricature Socrates? In which plays of Aristophanes depicted Socrates as a character? The answer is The Clouds. In Aristophanes' comedy The Cloud, he depicted Socrates as a character. The fourth question is, who founded the school Lyceum? Lyceum was a classical school of learning, and who founded this school? The answer is Aristotle. Aristotle founded the school Lyceum, and it was Plato who founded the school Academy. The fifth question is, who wrote pastoral poetry, eclogues and georgics? Who was the medieval writer, or who was the Old English writer who wrote eclogues and georgics? The answer is Virgil. Virgil was one of the most important Old English writers like Homer, Aristotle, and his important works are Georgics and Eclogues. The sixth question is, Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire was written by Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire is a work which is written on the fall of Constantinople, which happened in 1453. And who was the author who wrote this work? The author of this work was Edward Gibbon. Edward Gibbon wrote this work in 1776 on the fall of Constantinople. The seventh question is, who wrote Ars Amatoria? Who wrote the work Ars Amatoria, which deals with the art of love? The answer of this question is Ovid. Ovid wrote this work Ars Amatoria, which deals with different forms of love. And the eighth question is, seven kingdoms of Anglo-Saxon period are known as. The eighth question is, seven kingdoms of Anglo-Saxon period are known as, and it was in Anglo-Saxon period there were seven kingdoms like Anglia, Mercia, West Saxon, Heptarchy. Seven kingdoms of Anglo-Saxon period is known as Heptarchy. The ninth question is, Beowulf is included under which manuscript? We all know that there were four manuscripts in Old English period like Junius manuscript, Exeter book, Vercelli book, and Noel Codex. The answer of this question is Noel Codex. Beowulf is included under the Old English manuscript Noel Codex, and it is Beowulf which deals with the Geatish hero Beowulf and his king Hrothgar, and when his kingdom was attacked by Grendel, Beowulf fought with Grendel and killed him. The 10th question is who wrote the work Ecclesiastical History of the English Race? Who wrote the important works Ecclesiastical History of English Race? The answer is Venerable Bede. Venerable Bede was an Old English author and he wrote the work The Ecclesiastical History of English Race. The 11th question is Peasant Revolt was described in which play of or which work of John Gower? It is Peasant Revolt which happened in 1381 and which is the work in which John Gower depicted Peasant Revolt. The answer is Vox Clamantis. Vox Clamantis is a Latin work written by John Gower, and in this work he depicted peasant revolt as an occasion. The 12th question is Falls of Constantinople happened in which year? As we all know that the Constantinople is the capital of Eastern Roman Empire of Byzantium, and it is Sultan Mahmud who demolished the Constantinople in the year 1453. The 13th question is who wrote the work Divine Comedy? We all know that Divine Comedy, which is divided into three parts, Inferno, Purgatorio and Paradiso, and it is divided into 100 cantos, and there are two guides in Divine Comedy who are Virgil and Beatrice. Who wrote the work Divine Comedy? Divine Comedy was written by Dante Alighieri, one of the most important medieval author. 14th question is what is the first example of debate poetry? What is the first example of debate poetry in Middle English period? The first example of debate poetry is The Owl and the Nightingale. The 15th question is who made a movie on the Decameron? Who was the important director who made a movie on Decameron on Canterbury Tales? It was Pier Paolo Pasolini. Pier Paolo Pasolini, who was known as father of English poetry. This is our 16th question, and the answer of this question is Geoffrey Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer was one of the most important Middle English period who was born in 1340 and died in 1400, and he was known as the father of English poetry. And his important works are Lemon de la Rose, Canterbury Tales. The 17th question is who was the host in the Canterbury Tales? As we all know that there were 29 pilgrims in Canterbury Tales and two important other persons are the author and the host. And who was the host of this work Canterbury Tales? It was Harry Bailey. Harry Bailey was the host of the Canterbury Tales. What are the two parts of William Langland's Piers Plowman? As we all know, William Langland is also one of the most important authors of Middle English poetry, and his work Piers Plowman is divided into Visio and Vita. These are the important parts of his work. The 19th question is who is known as Morning Star of Reformation? Who was known as Morning Star of Reformation? The answer is John Wycliffe. John Wycliffe is known as the morning star of Reformation. The 20th question is, who wrote the work The Golden Touch? This work, The Golden Touch, was written by one of the Scottish Chaucerian. The answer of this question is William Dunbar. William Dunbar, who was one of the Scottish Chaucerian who followed the tradition of Chaucer, and he wrote his most important work, The Golden Touch. These are the 20 questions we have for this Sunday. So those of you are preparing for CUET-PG 2026 English Literature exam, don't forget to like, share and subscribe our channel to get more CUET-PG English Literature related videos and study materials. Thank you everyone for watching this video.